The attentive and silent gaze perceives, in the information that the being consumes and behind the labels, each of the elements that make the information alive and comprehensible to the creature. Information is unnecessary and disposable to this attentive gaze, but not what gives it life. What gives it life is what relates to the essence of the being in the created creature, and that is incomprehensible to the creature. The insurgent being transcends the creature and places itself first, with all its weapons and potentialities serving as filters and shields against the imposing and perpetuating mechanisms of creation. It is to those who read that the moment is given. It may seem that its voice is meant for the rare and the mad, but those have already loosened their bonds, while the others are still trapped in incomprehensible convictions due to stubbornness, credulity, comfort, and conformity, believing that losing oneself in the divine and divine things is the real and only path, and that rising against the reason of the divine is a sin. Little do they know, no matter how much light is cast upon them and upon things, that there is nothing more fragile and disposable than the arguments that uphold these divinities. These created divinities are great inhibitors of the being's potentiality on the path to self-discovery. Walking toward one's own being is the true path, and never toward the incomprehensible created divine, whose support is an imposed and misunderstood faith. All of creation, and everything within it, serves only time and its eventual disposal within time, and even that time is part of creation. To glorify the creator of objects placed in distant space, under the justification of unveiling space, and better understanding its formation, its origin, and consequently, the origin of species, demonstrates how far the being has distanced itself from itself, and how close it remains to the creature. One perceives how silence is misunderstood due to the very fear of discarding an acquired culture, merely to keep the creature's eyes always fixed on the same place. Everything that has been called evolution only further roots beings in their creatures, rather than liberating them. The revolution of the being is merely a shift in position, where the creature and the being take their rightful places. The creature moves behind the being, and the being becomes the commander of the ship that it is. The eyes that see belong to this being, and not to the creature, which sees only within its limits and adjustments. This limited vision is different for each creature. However, the eyes of the being look far beyond, and all see with the same gaze of understanding.